Happy Halloween, my friends. This is actually one of my favorite days of the year, but I know that it makes some people uncomfortable, and that's totally understandable because Halloween comes at a time when we are surrounded by the dead and the dying. Now, Christians took this holiday and they called it Hallows Eve, representing honoring spirits, honoring those who have passed on. But you know who they stole it from? They stole it from ancient Ireland. It was the Celts that originally celebrated Samhain. And Samhain is a day of recognizing that the veil that separates the physical world from the spiritual is extra, extra thin. And they believed that today was the last day of their calendar year. It was their New Year's Eve. And they believed that it was at this time that anyone who had passed on during the year would then rise up and ascend to their Creator. But at this time, with that veil being open, it wasn't just a one-way door. They believed it was a two-way door. And the reason that we have costumes this time of year, the reason that we light fires and make all kinds of noise, was to scare off any of the bad spirits that we didn't want to re-enter. We wanted to keep the road clear. We wanted to send our loved ones safely back home. And so this day kind of had a double meaning. You know, halfway across the world in South America, they celebrate the Dia de los Muertos, and it is the Day of the Dead, in which they believe the exact same thing. And you ever wonder why all of these cultures around the world believe that today is the day that those who have passed on can come and go freely? It's pretty wild. Well, in the tarot, we have a representation of the zodiac sign Scorpio, and we have death. And death is, you know, I teach tarot and I tell people if you pull this card, it does not mean you're dying. But in fact, this flag up here, see how it's a 5-pointed flower? It's a representation of the inverted pentagram. And what it means is ego death, because the inverted pentagram represents putting ego above all else. And the Grim Reaper, you know, it's really good that you don't have to go to heaven by yourself, right? Somebody's there to come with you. We can't really hate on this guy. He's riding a white horse, indicating that whatever momentum we've got going on right now, the focus is purification. And so depending on how we look at all that is dead and dying, our process, our experience is going to be different. If we look at an experience of death with faith, our arms are open. If we look at an experience of death with fear, we look away. But the child looks with curiosity. Today is the day before the new moon in Scorpio, and the zodiac sign Scorpio is associated with life, death, rebirth, transformation, karmic cycles, and lots of crazy heavy themes. But as you experience this day, it is a good opportunity for me to remind you I'm a psychic medium, and I would like to tell you that you can talk to the spirits as well. So the way that I like to explain it is that it's going to sound like you inside of your head. And I wish I knew that decades ago, because I always thought it would sound like somebody else. And it's only rarely that I hear somebody in a different accent. Usually the way our brains translate talking to spirits is to make it sound like us. So it's going to sound like you're talking to yourself. But the difference is that a spirit you're talking to is going to refer to you in the third person, like by saying you this or you that, or they might even refer to you with your name. The other thing too is that if you're talking to them and you're starting to say a sentence, they'll often talk over you. Did you know your brain can't do that? So that's how you know that it's somebody else, because they'll talk over you, they'll refer to you differently, and they might even contradict you or offer you different information. Now, just so you know, if any voice inside of your head urges you to hurt yourself or somebody else, that is not talking to a spirit. That is a mental health emergency. So please do look after that in a really safe way. But talking to spirits is a really cool opportunity, because this is a great day to celebrate those who have passed on. In South America, they have a party, they leave out treats. And in Ireland, where the origins of Samhain, it's more of a double thing where they are taking care of their loved ones, but they're also a little bit afraid of evil spirits. So today, if you feel like lighting a candle, you can talk to your loved ones, you can talk to anyone that you miss, but also honor yourself, honor your life. Because you matter, your feelings matter, and your spark on this planet is so incredibly unique. Nobody could ever replace you. You're incredibly special. So thank you for being here. Today's card is the Four of Wands, and the Four of Wands represents celebration. It is a celebration scene, and it also is the only card in the original Rider-Waite-Smith deck that has tiny people in the background. So what I like to remind you of is that, you know, you're going to know who's really important in your life, because not only are they going to lift you up, but they're also going to treat you like a main character, not like an extra. And so that's how we know if somebody really values us, because they take time for us within reason, of course. Obviously, you know, people are busy, but people are going to treat you as though you matter, right? And if you're surrounded by people who make you feel like you don't matter, you're surrounded by the wrong people. So celebrate yourself, celebrate life, celebrate the opportunity to have beautiful experiences, all these wide-ranging emotions, and it's a wild ride, right? I'm glad you're here. Thank you for being here. I'm Erin. I'm QueenBeeTarot. I've got full-length detailed horoscopes and so much more on my YouTube channel. You should definitely go check that out. And come back every day for your daily tarot and astrology. I'll see you tomorrow.